Throughout this crisis, the world has turned to journalists who live in Ukraine to get a first-hand perspective of what's happening. One of these journalists is named Aliam Kent. Aliam Kent was among the many people in Ukraine forced to flee the country for the refugee camps in neighboring Poland. Since arriving in Poland, Aliam Kent and her reporting partner, Romana Isabella, have been documenting experiences of Ukrainian refugees for a video project called Diaries in Exile. Their work puts a human face on the victims of this war by capturing not just their trials and hardship, but also moments of laughter and levity experienced by real people keeping hope alive every day.
How did you get a piano here?
It's mine. I used to travel this piano everywhere I go.
Wow, how do you travel with it?
See a trailer over there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the piano home.
Joining us now is Aliam Kent, Ukraine-based journalist and producer of Diaries in Exile. Aliam, thank you for being with us. You are seeing things I'm trying to capture. You're doing it much better than I am, but you're capturing the humanity of these refugees. You are taking them away from being an abstraction, because when people hear, you know, 1.5 million refugees or 2 million refugees, it's hard to understand that each one of these are individual lives lived.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what we're trying to do with this series.
I want to ask you about some of the lighter moments. There aren't really light moments in refugee sites, but one of the things you did happened during an interview with a 17-year-old boy from Odessa, and your reaction. I just want to play that for our audience.
Да и в принципе ситуация, многие ничего не понимают, ну как бы тут все ясно. Ну, насчет вот этого, то, что политика только в этом всем виновата, как бы народ ни в чем не виноват.
Кто потерял бабушку? Отзовите. Кто потерял бабушку?
I'm at a train station, so I'm getting constant announcements like you can hear now about the next train coming in, but you got an announcement about who lost their babushka. There is some strength in the human spirit in which people laugh, they tell jokes, they are trying to grab some little piece of life to continue on, even in this horrible situation.
Yes, 100%. While Romana and I are running around trying to capture these human moments, we find, you know, pain that we share alongside with these people. We find humor. I'd say that that's how this war is also being perceived. I mean, my friends and I were reading the news constantly, but we're also sharing memes with each other. It's a very Ukrainian way, I'd say, of coping and being able to live through this process.
Every last person I talk to ends when they talk to me in an interview with the expression, glory to Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. They all talk about the fact that they are going home, not that they hope they're going home. What is it about the Ukrainian spirit that is allowing the people to stay back and fight, and everybody who leaves to say, we're going back?
I think that's just who Ukrainians are at their core. The rest of the world is really meeting the people for the first time for many. And that is one of the regular themes, I would say, from all of the people we have spoken to. They have indeed said that they're all planning on returning home. When asking what's next, it's a very scary question. Many people are lost. They don't know what's going to happen next. But the one thing they have in mind is going back and rebuilding their country on their own. And that really tells the spirit and the belief that the people have in themselves and their country, and it's why many haven't lost hope.
Tell me what you want Western audiences to understand. It becomes very hard when we report, as I say, on these mass numbers and these people who are going out. What do you want people to understand about Ukrainians through the work that you're doing?
I want people to understand that Ukrainians are just like anybody else, but they are their own very unique individual people. They're different from Russians, even though they're Russian-speaking Ukrainians. They're different from the people in the countries that they border, which are EU countries, and they're trying to, progress towards a society. So it's a constantly changing culture, constantly changing country, and they're being attacked for their beliefs of freedom and democracy. So that's really who they are as people. I'd say that's why you're seeing how they're reacting now. So I'd hope that people are inspired meeting the people and continue to support.
Aliam Kent is a journalist and producer of Diaries in Exile, which you can find on YouTube starting today. Aliam, thank you for your time tonight and for this project.